Okay, guys, so what I did was just jump into Zillow and I went to Hendersonville, North Carolina, because I like visiting here. It's where I would like to have a second home, so I've been kind of keeping up with the real estate in this area. And I came across this property right here, which is a three-bedroom, two-bath condo, 1,351 square feet, and it has been on the market for 76 days. Okay, so I'm going in here, and first I want to go through the photos, kind of see what the property is about. Is this property going to need any additional money out of my pocket or work just from what I can see? Okay, and the apartment looks like it's in pretty decent condition as long as everything is mechanically sound, like the appliances work and everything like that. It doesn't look like we're going to have to put any money into this property to make it rentable. Okay, and this is the actual garage and storage underneath the unit, which is actually pretty big. So you usually don't get those in condos, especially not here where I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. But in North Carolina, apparently you can get yourself a two-car garage with some additional storage for a condo, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this listing. This is listed at $190,000. And if you remember with the DSCR program, what we want to do is find a property where the amount of rent is going to cover the mortgage and give you some cash flow on top of it. Okay, so with Zillow, what's great about this site is that it actually will give you a spot to where you can find out what your payments would be, or at least estimate them. And also, they can give you a zestimate on the rent of what they think this property is going to get you. Now, keep in mind, this is Zillow, so not everything is 100%, but it is definitely a good place to identify a property. And if the numbers work here on Zillow, then you can dig deeper and see if this is going to be a good investment for you. Okay, so for $190,000, what we're going to do is just scroll down here and see if we can find where the payment is at. And it says the estimated payment is $1,438 a month. But what we want to go ahead and do is just adjust this a little bit because we are going to have different criteria using this loan. So let's say we're going to get the property at $190,000. It has been sitting on the market for quite some time, so you should be able to negotiate a lower price. But for this example, we're going to keep it at $190,000. The down payment they have is $38,000, which is 20%. What I'm going to go ahead and do is to kick this up to 25% for a few different reasons. One, at 25%, you're going to get a better interest rate with the DSCR loan. And two, although DSCR loans can go lower for a down payment, I'm using 25% because if you are a first-time investor and you don't have a lot of investment experience, these DSCR lenders are going to want 25% down. So let's just include everybody here. We're going to do 25% down for the down payment, which is now going to make your down payment $47,500. We're going to keep the 30-year fixed, and this interest rate is at 6.38%. That's right around where if you're going to be purchasing the home as an owner-occupant with a conventional loan, you'd be right around that 6.38% if you have good credit. What we're going to do is kick this up a little bit because we are using an investment loan, which these are considered riskier loans for the lender, so they do come with a little bit higher of an interest rate. So we're going to put that at 6.75, and then we will go and fill this out. We're not going to have any mortgage insurance because we are putting down more than 20%. The property taxes here are listed at $76 a month. They did a tax rate of 0.48%, which came out to $912 a year. I'm going to go ahead and bump this up just a little bit because I would rather err on the side of caution than to do all these figures and come up short later. The home insurance they have at $63 a month. I'm actually going to pop this up here. Let's go to $1,000 total, which will put us up at $83 a month. The HOA fees are $350 that will be included in that. Okay, so for all of this, we're going to go back up here, and the payment has now shifted to $1,449 a month. We'll just say $1,450 just to round it. Now, if we can go back up here, look what Zillow estimates that this place can rent for. $1,937 a month. So almost $500 cash flow per month on this property when it's rented is what Zillow is estimating. What I would go ahead and do is, since these numbers do make good financial sense, and if you're ready to invest in a property, you'd want to contact a lender to get you pre-qualified for this DSCR loan. Again, you're using the rent to qualify you in terms of the income, but we still do have to make sure that you are credit worthy to take out a loan with this lender. So you do want to check on that, see what programs are out there for you. And also you want to contact a real estate agent, and they're going to be able to do a little bit of the legwork for you here to make sure that this rent zestimate is close or correct. And maybe they can also find better numbers to support what we have here. Maybe the taxes are a little bit more or a little bit less. Maybe the insurance could be a little bit more or a little bit less. But regardless, we have a great starting point. And this is just a property that's been sitting on Zillow for almost 3 months, and nobody's picked it up. And it could be a very good money-making investment for you. One thing I did see in here as well, this is a 55 plus community. Now, a few things I want to tell you about a 55 plus community. Even though it is a 55 plus community, that in a lot of instances with a lot of communities means that you have to be 55 or older to live there. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be 55 or older to purchase the unit. There are some associations that are saying, hey, we only sell to people who are 55 plus, but there's a lot of associations saying that we don't care who you are if you're buying it. You just can't live here unless you're 55 or older. So if you're younger than 55, you definitely have a good chance to purchase this property, and your tenant will have to be 55 years or older. Also with condos, you want to make sure that there are no rental restrictions in terms of how long you have to own the property before you're able to rent it out. So some properties, especially here in Florida where I'm at, they're saying, hey, you can buy the property, but you need to own it for 2 years before we'll allow you to put a tenant in there. You want to get that background, make sure that there is no wait that you have to endure before you can put a tenant in there. And lastly, what I want to say about 55 plus communities is that your tenants in these situations are usually very good. Okay, I don't see a lot of people who are throwing rager parties, doing keg stands, and punching holes in drywall that are in their 60s. Okay, and a lot of these older people who are 55 plus, they're on fixed incomes, so they're very reliable to get you the rent money each month. They know what they can afford, so they tend to be very good tenants. All right, I'm Matt Krieger. This was just an example I wanted to get to you to show you that these DSCR deals for your investment portfolio are out there. You just have to search for them. If you need help with either the lending or really finding a property that might work for you, I am actually licensed as a real estate agent as well, and I work with real estate agents all around the country who'd be able to assist you in finding properties like this. Reach out to me. Be happy to help you. Hope this helps. We'll see you on the next one.